Hi, I'm Adam Wilkinson, aka JinxDart. I'm also an art teacher here at the Lancaster Academy. The school have been kind enough to allow me to use this fabulous studio to paint these pieces that are behind me, which is essentially the start of a new collection for me. I've been teaching here for, God, it must be 6 years now, coming on for 7 years, and loved every minute of it. Teaching art to students has been an absolute dream for me, and it's also afforded me the opportunity to be able to actually indulge in my hobby and what I do and what I enjoy doing, and then pass that on to other people as well. So the inspiration for these pieces came from a bit of an annoyance, really. We use a lot of technology these days, and a lot of what we use is essentially just a kind of improvement, a renovation of all of the things that have been invented already. We rarely see a new invention these days. I mean, if we take, for example, something like the plastic bucket, people have been carrying water for centuries, millennia. Somebody somewhere at some point went to a river, found something that would hold water, lifted it up, carried it home. And the design of that bucket has never really changed. Yet what we see these days is we see an improvement on products that already exist. And what I'd really like to see is just people almost coming back to basics and thinking, well, why do we always need to have something better? Why do we need to have something that's improved? Why can't we just stick with what it is that we're comfortable with? A lot of the art tools that I'm using today, there's a lot of artists these days that are moving into graphic media, using digital. It's not that I don't think that I don't respect that. I do, of course I do. People have to move on, people have to progress, people have to try out new things, people have to experiment with different ways of working. But I've always very much been about, the hands-on way of producing artwork. And basically what these pieces are talking about and what they're trying to symbolize is this idea of, we're in a bit of a cluttered mess these days. Everything's overcomplicated, everything's too over-functional. This does that, that does that. What I'd really like to see is people just using the simple things in life. And that's what it should be about. A lot of my work's been inspired by things that I see around me. My last collection, for example, Urban Cities, it's less about the city itself. It's more about the culture. It's more about the people. It's more about the things that people don't see. So by working in abstract nature, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to capture the essence of an object, or the essence of a place, or the essence of an idea, or in the case of culture, the society that lives that culture. This collection that's starting here is going to be all about the idea of bringing things back to basics. It's going to be about making people actually think to themselves, why do we need all this new technology? Why do we need all this overcomplication? Teaching in lockdown has been a really difficult thing, and I think what's made it more difficult has actually been the technology. Us teaching staff, we've done a lot with Microsoft Teams, and we've had to engage in an entirely new way of learning, and in a lot of ways it's been dampened. The teaching quality has been dampened by the way that we've had to deliver lessons. Certainly teaching an art lesson, teaching students how to use different techniques and different materials in a locked down video lesson is nigh on impossible. And what it's opened my eyes to is that there are so many young people that just don't have access to the arts, which is a lot of the reason why I do this, I suppose, because I want the arts to be something that young people engage in. I think it's a big part of culture. a lot of different societies celebrate art as, you know, one of the most important things in their society, and I just feel that in some ways our existence in Britain and, you know, the Western world has started to become more about the things we have, the things we use, the things they can do, rather than, you know, the simple things like what we see, how we behave when we are around certain aspects and certain people. If there's one thing I've really taken from this lockdown, this pandemic, this situation that we are in now, as an artist, it's that time is something that we very rarely ever have these days. I've had the opportunity to do quite a lot of work, to do quite a lot of artwork, and to really think about who I am as an artist and what I want and how I like to work. And I suppose in a lot of ways I've learned to not try to please other people. I've had time to think about that. I've had time to really plan what it is that I wanted to do and how I wanted to work. And I hope that what I've learned through all of this and this experience today, and the time that I've been afforded to be able to work on my ideas, will continue alongside my job. And hopefully what I've learned I'll be able to impart in some way as well into the young people that I teach.